Hello, everybody. It's Bill's the College Football Guy. Another video, part 7 in the prediction series. Oh my God, the Sun Belt Conference. Oh boy, this one a little bit different because Sun Belt's one of the few conferences that I did predictions on that still has divisions. So we're gonna do the East Division first, then the West. I go back over my preseason predictions here. We're gonna see what I did in terms of win-loss record. How I basically what it is how I did on the games, how I did predicting these games. So, shall we get into this? First off, we're going with the East Division. First start with Appalachian State. Had them going 10-2 in the preseason, with losses to Clemson and to Coastal Carolina. So, what games did I get wrong? Well, first off, the game against Liberty got canceled, unfortunately, because of the winter storms. And not winter storms. Because of a hurricane. That, if you don't know what that storm did, if you're East Coast, go on I-81, head south or north, past I-40, get on I-26 and head into North Carolina. You go over the bridge, and you're going to see about 25 miles of businesses and houses, trees, hills, wiped off the face of the earth. The stormwater. It breaks my heart every damn time I drive through it. Okay, so that game was canceled because of that. I had them beating South Alabama. They lost. I got that wrong. Had them beating Marshall and Louisiana. They lost both of those. Got that wrong. Had them beating Georgia Southern. They lost. Got that wrong. So count the cancellations. So it'll be 11 games. I had them going 7-4 in my predictions. Coastal Carolina had them going 8-4 with their 4 losses to Virginia, James Madison, Troy, and Marshall. So what did I get wrong? Well, I had them beat Louisiana. They lost. Got that wrong. Had them pick beating Georgia Southern. They lost. Got that wrong. So I went 10-2 predicting Coastal Carolina. The Georgia Southern Eagles had them going 5-7 with their 7 losses to Boise State, Ole Miss, James Madison, Old Dominion, South Alabama, Coastal Carolina, and Appalachian State. Well, how'd I do? Well, I had them losing to James Madison. They won. Got that wrong. I had them losing to South Alabama. They won. Got that wrong. I had them beating Troy. They lost. Got that wrong. And I had the last 2 games of the year losing to Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. Well, they won both of those, so they got both of those wrong. So I'm going 7-5 predicting Georgia Southern schedule. Georgia State had them going 4-8. 8 losses to Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Georgia Southern, Marshall, Appalachian State, James Madison, Texas State, and Coastal Carolina. So how'd I do? Well, had them losing to Vanderbilt. We already saw this. They won. Got that wrong. I had them beating Old Dominion. They lost. Got that wrong. I had them beating UConn. They lost. Got that wrong. And the last, in 2 more games here, I had them beating Arkansas State. They lost. Got that wrong. I had them losing to Texas State. They won. Got that wrong. So it's 7-5 picking Georgia State. And you're going to come around. James Madison. I had them going 10-2 with their 2 losses being to North Carolina and Appalachian State. Well, how'd I do? Well, I had them losing to North Carolina. They won. Got that wrong. I had them beating Louisiana Monroe. They lost. Still don't know how the hell that happened. Got that wrong. I had them beating Marshall. They lost. Got that wrong. So I'm 9-3 for James Madison predictions. And Marshall, well, you got Marshall and Old Dominion still. Marshall had them going 5-7. Yeah, and then do good there. With losses to Virginia Tech, Ohio State, Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, Southern Miss, Old Dominion, and James Madison. So how'd I do? Well, I had them losing to Appalachian State. They won. Got that wrong. I had them losing to Southern Miss. They won. Got that wrong. And the last 2 games of the year had them losing to Old Dominion and James Madison. They won both. So I got them both wrong. So I went 8-4 picking Marshall's schedule. And Old Dominion, I had going 3-9. Victories over East Carolina, Georgia Southern, and Marshall. Losses to South Carolina, Virginia Tech, Bowling Green, Coastal Carolina, Georgia State, Texas State, Appalachian State, James Madison, and Arkansas State. So how'd I do? Well, I had them beating East Carolina. They lost. Got that wrong. Had them losing to Bowling Green. They won. Got that wrong. Had them 2 games in a row. Had them losing. Georgia State and Texas State. Had them losing them both the preseason. Well, they won both. So I got them both wrong. I had them beating Marshall. They lost. Got that wrong. I had them losing Arkansas State. Oh, actually, that's not right. They won. They actually did. They losing Arkansas State. They won, so they got that wrong. So it's 6-6 predicting their schedule. Arkansas State's next. I kind of got it flipped here. So yeah, so 6-6 predicting Old Dominion. Arkansas State. Sometimes you look at paperwork too fast, you get 2 pages blended together. Sorry about that, folks. Arkansas State ended 7-5 in the preseason, losing to Michigan, Iowa State, Texas State, Louisiana, and Georgia State. How did I do my predictions? Well, I had them losing to Georgia State. They won, got that wrong. Had them beating Old Dominion. They lost, got that wrong. So I'm at 10-2 picking Arkansas State. Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. I had them going 6-6 on the year with losses to Tulane, Wake Forest, Southern Miss, Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina, and Texas State. So how did I do in my picks? Well, the losses to Wake Forest, Southern Miss, Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina, all 4 ended up being wins. Yeah. I got all 4 of those wrong. I had them losing to Texas State. They won, got that wrong. And I'm losing to South Alabama. Beating South Alabama, they lost. So I got that wrong. So 6-6. Picking Louisiana. Speaking of South Alabama, I got them 7-5, the Jaguars. The 5 losses to Ohio, Appalachian State, LSU, Arkansas State, and Louisiana. So how'd I do? Well, I had them beating North Texas. They lost. Got that wrong. I had them losing Appalachian State. They won. Got that wrong. I had them beating Georgia Southern. They lost. Got that wrong. I had them losing to Louisiana. They won. Got that wrong. And I had them beating Texas State. They lost. Got that wrong. So I went 7-5 picking South Alabama. Southern Miss, I had 4-8. 4 wins against Southeast Louisiana, ULM, and Marshall. Losses to Kentucky, South Florida, Jacksonville State, Louisiana. Lost Arkansas State, James Madison, Texas State, South Alabama, and Troy. So what happened? I had them beating Louisiana and Louisiana Monroe. Guess what? They lost both of those games, so I got both of those wrong. I had them beating Marshall. They lost that game, so I got that one wrong. So I went 9-3 picking Southern Miss. Let's see, Texas State I had going 9-3 with their 3 losses to Arizona State, Troy, and South Alabama. Well, how'd I do? Well, they had them beating Sam Houston State, which was actually a neutral site game in Houston. They lost that game, so I got that wrong. I had them losing to Troy. They won, got that wrong. I had them beating Old Dominion. They lost, got that wrong. I had them coming out of the bye and beating Louisiana. They lost, got that wrong. And the last 2 games of the year, I had them beating Georgia State. They lost, got that wrong. And had them losing to South Alabama. They won, got that wrong. So I went 6-6 picking Texas State. The Troy Trojans had them 6-6 in the preseason with losses to Memphis, Iowa, South Alabama, Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, Louisiana. So how did it turn out? Well, I had them beating Nevada in the first week of the year. They lost, got that wrong. I had them back-to-back games they're supposed to have won. Louisiana Monroe and Texas State. Well, they lost both. So I got both of those wrong. And I had them losing to Georgia Southern. They won, got that wrong. So 8-4 picking Troy. And last but not least, Louisiana Monroe, the Warhawks. I had them going 1-11. Their only win was the opener against Jackson State. Every other game, UAB, Texas, Troy, James Madison, Southern Miss, South Alabama, Marshall, Texas State, Auburn, Arkansas State, and Louisiana were all losses. How'd I do? Well, I had them losing to UAB. They won, so I got that wrong. I had them losing 3 games here, losing to Troy, James Madison, Southern Miss. They won all 3, so I got all 3 of those wrong. So I went 8-4 picking Louisiana Monroe. So that means if you go with the overall for Louisiana Monroe, for the Sun Belt Conference, 167 games. But remember, we were short one because the Liberty game was canceled with Appalachian State. They went 108-59, 64.7%. Not that bad, all things considered. So, oh boy. 7 down, 2 to go. So thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think about this. I did my picks wrong. Went there. Y'all can go yell at me and make fun of it. Make fun of me for it. This is your one day here you get to, and I can't be mad for it. So say that. Share that if you want to. If you haven't done it already, check out some of the other videos I've done. If you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to follow me on X, the link will be in the description. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Next one up is going to be kind of a mixed bag. We got the 2 Pac-12 schools as well as all of the schools that were individuals that are the single schools. Yeah, will be next. So I'll explain that at the start of the next video. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Here we go. So thanks everybody for watching. Be safe out there and please be good to each other.